All right, folks. Folks, we're going to go ahead and get started. Folks, grab your seat. It's so exciting. Here it is. It's late afternoon, and there's still this incredible energy. Have you had a good day so far? Yeah. Incredible. Yeah, here's who the committee who planned this. You know, and I missed the part of the millennials, working with them in intergenerational. That sounded fantastic. The stuff up here from OPM, boom. And you know what? This is only like, we have a whole nother day tomorrow. It was great. So a couple things. First, a few housekeeping things before we kick it off. Remember, it's all about getting credit, isn't it? So there is a sign-in sheet outside. If you didn't sign in today, when you're leaving today, take a moment, sign it, and you can say, yes, in fact, I was here. Course evaluations, as you're going through the presentations, fill those out. We'll collect them at the end. Today, just before we broke for lunch, I mentioned we have our photographer here. If folks want to have pictures of the division, it wasn't a lot of notice. Our awesome HUD photographer will be here tomorrow at the lunch break. It's rare we're all together, so when we break for lunch, she'll be right over there. If ELRD, if you all want to get together, whatever office, it's a chance. It's kind of nice. It's nice. I can't do a big selfie. I didn't bring my selfie stick, so we got the pro here to do it. The other thing, I'm going off script here, which is always dangerous, but some folks said, Peter, a lot of new faces here. And I'm just passing through, and they're all new to me, and we've got new people in from the field. So what we're going to do here, only take a minute or two, and we'll still get out of here at a good time. But I'm just going to ask with this table, everybody's going to just take a moment, stand up, say it loud, even if you're introverted, it's okay. You're like, oh, Peter. Say who you are. What your role is in Ochiko, and if you're from the field, where you are. And that way, if you're like me, I'm like, I've seen that person. It could even be in headquarters. I'm old, so I see the same person every day, and I'm like, hey, guy, how are you? Now I can be like, oh, Joe Sullivan, I know who you are. So, again, I'm Peter Constantine. I'm the acting deputy Chico. We'll leave you panel folks, we'll introduce you at your session. But I'm going to start, we have one guest here. And I'll start with you, and then we can work around our tables.
Hello, everyone. I'm Giovanni Robinson, and I am an HR VP, HR business partner for the Office of the Chico at Health and Human Services. So this has been an honor to be here today and to gain some knowledge that I could take back and hopefully help my organization move forward.
Awesome. Welcome.
I'm Connie Lovato. I'm with the Office of Executive Resources, and I'm with the Denver office.
Hi, Connie, yeah.
Hi, I'm Paula Lopez, and I'm in the Office of Executive Resources, and I'm from the Denver, Colorado office.
Hi, Lori Seeley, Performance Management in the Office of Executive Resources.
Hi, I'm Anthony Johnson. I'm the Veterans Employment Program Manager. I'm with the Special Employment Programs Division and D&I, Diversity and Inclusion, here at headquarters.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the field people that have come to town. We're so happy to see you. Welcome our special guest. My name is Angela Proctor. I work in Special Employment Programs, specifically with the Pathways Program.
Hi, my name is Michelle Cottom. I'm the Director of Diversity and Inclusion in the Special Employment Programs, of which Angela is part of, too. Thanks.
Good afternoon. My name is Martha Bullock Fields. I'm the Contract Oversight Manager here at Ochiko, working on contracts or any IAs and things like that that you have across the organization.
Hi, my name is Edna Sisse, working with my supervisor here at D&I. Little bit pick up volunteer program. Thank you.
Hi, Rose Butler, Correspondence Unit Chief in the Office of the Chief Human Capital Officer, Front Office.
Hello, I'm Anita Cruz with Employee Labor Relations at headquarters.
Pass it around. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Amy Brown. I'm on rotation to Ochiko from OGC.
Thank you.
I'm Dustin Harfman. I'm in Human Capital Services.
Hi, I'm Jean Powell, the Chief Management Officer.
There's one in every crowd.
Where's Dr. Wright at? Where's Dr. Wright? Where's she at? Okay, I'll be nice. My name is Jim Frugier, and I'm an HRIT.
And my name is Rick Osborne.
We love Jim.
Good afternoon, I'm Iva Harp, ELRD headquarters.
Good afternoon, everyone. Gay Walker, PBRD.
Paulette Cephas, HUD Headquarters, Discrimination Complaints Manager for Ochico.
Good afternoon. My name is Rhonda Jackson. I'm an administrative specialist in the administrative office here in Washington.
Hi, I'm Angie Wilmer, admin officer for Ochico.
Hi, I'm Sharon Sharon, Transit Subsidy Coordinator.
Hello, I'm Robin Calloway, Pay Benefits and Retirement.
Lorraine Smith, PBRD.
Sharon Lacey out of San Francisco for accountability.
Terry Swan from headquarters from accountability.
Mandy Renee and RSD from Atlanta. Michelle Buckmaster, also RSD from Philadelphia.
Kevin Jenkins, HeadLearn, Ochico.
Lynette Warren, front office, Ochico.
Shirley Arthur, Headquarters, EAP or Employee Health Division. I'm one of them.
Yvette Moore, Director, Employee Health and Wellness Division, of which Shirley is a part.
Angela Brown, Employee Health and Wellness Division, and y'all forgot something. Okay. Angela Brown, Employee Health and Wellness Division.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Shan Randall, and I am currently a member of the Employee Health and Wellness Division.
Dar Winter, I'm in the Denver office. I'm with HUD-Learn.
Hello, my name is Cynthia Randolph-Tobe, HUD-Learn, Ochico.
Hello, my name is Nova Kenise Smith, and I'm with HUD-Learn, Ochico.
Hello, my name is Simone Little. I'm with Employee Health and Wellness Division, specifically telework coordinator for the agency.
Hi, I'm Mark Bradley, and I'm with HUD-Learn in Ochico. And this man.
How you doing? My name is Alonzo Muir. I'm with Reasonable Accommodations.
Hello, Olga Shulkina, Staffing Classification, Ochico.
Good afternoon, I'm Mia Beckett, Director, Leadership Development Division, HUD-Learn.
Hello, I'm Wanda Campbell with HUD-Learn.
Good afternoon, I'm Rochelle Brown from FHEO. I'm on rotational assignment to Ochico.
Good afternoon, I'm Annette Jackson in HRIT.
Good afternoon. My name is Quentin Sledge. I'm the Information Security Officer. I'm the Agency Security Officer. I'm the Privacy Liaison Officer. I'm at a System Administrator.
Good afternoon. This is Judy Tefera, HRIT, Ochico.
Good afternoon. My name is Rashida Banks, HRIT.
Oh, happy birthday.
Hello, I'm Deidre Mitchell from PBRD.
Hello, Pam Lanier, PBRD.
Don Anderson, ELRD. Welcome everyone from the field.
Trevor McKee, HUD Learn. Hello everyone, Jerry Jones, Internal Controls.
Mike Thomas, HUD Learn.
Good afternoon, my name is Conraylin Mickens. I'm on rotation from Housing.
Hello, Thomas Cooper, HRIT.
Mike Jones, HUD Learn.
Hello, I'm Leslie Williams, Contract Oversight Branch in the HUD GPC program.
Lisa Swinney, Special Employment Programs.
Juliet Middleton, Office of Executive Resources.
Good afternoon, Andrea Hodge, New York office, HR Specialist, OCHICO.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yvette White, ELRD.
Good afternoon, Anjanette Twiggs, Employee and Labor Relations Division.
Joe Smith, Chief Performance Officer.
Robin Johnson, Office of Performance Management, OCHICO.
Faith Washington, HUD Learn.
Good afternoon. I'm Victor Pringle, Personnel Security Specialist, Supervisor of the ID section.
Patrick Pudgett, ID cards.
Vance Jackson, Personnel Security.
Sandra McAllister, PIV Office.
Sylvia Brinkley, Personal Security, the Richmond Field Office.
Good afternoon, I'm Jasmine Jackson, Personnel Security.
Darrell Woodson, PSD.
Dawn Feldman, PIV Branch.
John Manis.
Natisha Wilson.
Kim Bird.
Jacita Pritchett. Denitris Williams, and we're the policy program and advisory staff.
Sandra Watson, HUD Learn.
Sheila Wright, HUD Learn.
Jackie Cumber, Employee Health and Wellness Division.
Rhonda Essington, Employee Labor Relations, and I'm from Fort Worth.
Yay, go Stars.
I'm Michael Johnson, Employee Labor Relations out of Atlanta.
Hi, I'm Ginger Richardson, Employee and Labor Relations, San Francisco.
Ginger.
Hi, I'm Felicia Purifoy, Director, Human Capital Services.
Jackie Mercer Holly, Human Capital Services.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kimberly Elston, Employee and Labor Relations out of Atlanta.
Zakia Day, Strategic Workforce and Succession Planning here in DC.
Hi, Rose Brady, Strategic Workforce and Succession Planning.
Joe Peck, DC, Strategic Workforce and Planning, Succession Planning.
Mark Zaltman, Employee Labor Relations in Chicago.
Go Blackhawks.
Mike Stein, Employee and Labor Relations Division.
Carmen Polk, San Francisco, Employee and Labor Relations. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And I'd like to thank all my...
Hello, Tranisha Miller, San Francisco, Employee and Labor Relations.
Hi, I'm Daniela Romani, Employee and Labor Relations, San Francisco.
Hello,
Dee Dee Hankinson, Employee and Labor Relations, Fort Worth.
Arnita Stroud, HUD-Learn.
Kimberly Sanford on rotational, Chico, HUD-Learn. Vivian England on rotational in the Internal Control and Risk Management Division.
Natika Branch on rotation to HUD-Learn.
Eric Dorsey, Personnel Security Division.
Mike Schindelbeck, Ochico Support Services Division.
Joe Sullivan, Labor Employee Relations.
Don't worry, we'll get you. Don't worry.
Joe Sullivan, Labor Employee Relations.
Awesome.
Karen Wolford, OER.
Bessie Williams, OER. Henrietta Green, Admin, Oshiko.
Juanita McEwen, Reasonable Accommodation, outstation from Chicago.
LER, Desiree Johnson from Chicago.
Ashley Webster, LER, Philadelphia.
Great. Have we hit all the tables? Did we miss anybody? Oh, great. And John, I don't know if you'd introduced yourself yet. Okay, great. And real quick, we've had some people join us just in the last, if you've joined us since January, raise your hand. New employees, raise your hand. Take a look around. Give them a real, yeah. Oh, no, Chico, welcome. Absolutely. No, Chico, welcome. Okay, back to business. We have covered the importance this morning about being strategic partners, not just customer service. We've talked about the importance of aligning our goals and thinking strategically. And we heard earlier from the woman from CEB. This is actually happening at HUD, and we have a great group of people doing this right in Ochico with something called, you may have heard it, H2E, end-to-end, HR end-to-end. Amazing. I would call it project management, but that really doesn't do full justice. But it's the work being done where we say, here's initiative, how do we track it, how do we manage it, how do we make it happen? And I'm going to turn it over now to Charles Butler, who oversees that office. And Charles, take it away.
Well, good afternoon. Okay, my name is Charles Butler, Director of the Project Management Office. And with me today is the project management team. So I'd like them to introduce themselves and the area of responsibility.
Good afternoon. I'm Erica McKinley. I am the project manager for the Workforce and Succession module of Encompass.
Allison Falcone. I was responsible for the implementation of Career Connector.
Hi, I'm Ricky Q, and I'm the project manager for the new HVU and eCase management.
Phil Burrows, performance management, separation management, and compensation management.
Hi, Dennis McGurn, and I was the PM for High Hearts when we implemented that.
Well, believe me, we're going to go back in time today, so back in memory lane in a few minutes. Okay, so with a project of this nature, you have to have a lot of subject matter experts, but it so happened that we've named a few to at least stand up in the audience. All of you are really subject matter experts, but can I ask those that are really integral to our project as we move forward to stand up? Such as Gay, such as Rick, such as Michael, such as Zakia. And does anyone else want to stand up, such as Yvette? You are our executive SME. So is there anyone else? They already announced who they are and what offices that they work for and what their responsibilities are. But thank you for helping us out in moving forward with the HR end-to-end solution. Our objective for this session today is to share knowledge about HR end-to-end, how Ochico transitioned from computer systems that don't communicate with each other and offices that were paper-based to an organization that has moved forward with automation. So that we keep the schedule going, please hold your questions until the end of the presentation. And what I also would say for each of you is that at the end, when you do have questions, can you come up to the mic? Okay. It's all about teams, so it's all a team effort that this was involved. But we want to go back to a blast from the past, and simply because it wasn't so long ago. With this, how many of you have offices that look like this today? You do? You know, when we started doing our research for this presentation, we looked at various images, and this was one of the images that came up as a typical HR office not so long ago. So this was very, very interesting as we went through that. How many of you are familiar with this form? Yes, it's a request for personal action, was processed manually, and it's called the 52, Form 52. But to some of you HR specialists, it's called the Blue 52, right? Who said that? So it's the Blue 52 in case those of you that didn't know. We also, when it came to personnel records, we used to put them in all kinds of file folders, desk drawers, whatever the case may be. This is this? We got you. So all of that was part of filing systems. And then we came along with notification of personal action, and that is the Form 50. That is correct. But all of that was done manually. And then, of course, for those of you that have been here at HUD, not so long ago, you guys remember StarWeb? Okay. We actually had to complete a time card, a timesheet. And that, and that timesheet had to be filled out by each and every employee. And then each and every employee would give it to the timekeeper, who would then do whatever he or she needed to do. And at that point, when it was corrected, they would get the supervisor and employee to sign off on it. And then the timekeeper would transmit it to NFC. Manual process, a lot of manual processing. So we have 5 reasons why it's time to get rid of paper. Accuracy. We talked about that a lot this morning. You know about that in your day-to-day job. You know, errors become more common when paper-based processes are in place. Efficiency. In a paper-based office, the average employee spends 40% of their time searching for paper documents. Security. I can't stress security. I mean, you heard all the credentials of a couple of individuals that are in here today about their security role. But security is always critical, especially in the area of human resources and the confidentiality associated with the documents. Deadlines and due dates. I was on a roll. Deadlines and due dates. The inability to efficiently manage deadlines, I mean, is all because of the volume of paper. And finally, the cost. It's always costly to maintain, again, a paper-based environment. All the above are cost drivers that can increase the operational cost of an organization. So, it was time. It was time for change. And I asked that Mr. McGurran come up and talk about the time for change.
I sat back there so Rick could take bets on whether I'd fall. Okay, this will give you context, and for a lot of people that were not here through this, and that's getting to be most of the people now, it'll show you just how fragmented things were. With the National Finance Center, we've been doing business with them since the 1980s, and they've been doing our payroll business. They are very, very consistent. In fact, when Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, their computer center was in New Orleans, and they went to their backup center and continued doing the pay, and they're rock solid. So any core HR system that we put up for the transaction side had to link up to NFC. Now, before HighHearts, there were 17 small systems, Lotus Note systems and various different technologies, but none of them communicated with the others, none of them talked to each other. So if you had to put a name in, you had to put it into however many systems you needed. So that led to consistency problems and data error problems, things like that. And so then we undertook this project to do HighHearts. And that is to get a major system in at HUD is a long journey. It took from 2000 to 2005 to actually get a system up. The plan A for that was to build a HUD-specific system because there wasn't any opportunity to do the cross-servicing that there was before. But as part of that, we went to other agencies that had implemented a PeopleSoft-based system, and Treasury said that they could cross-service with us. That also dovetailed in with OMB setting up the lines of business, and they were going to cut our money off for development. So, the business kind of drove it toward that solution, but we took a look at what their capabilities were versus our requirements, and they met them. And by implementing that system, we did it over a period of 6 months. It saved us about 5 years of development time and about $10 million of development cost. Later on, we added e-performance to it, and e-performance has been superseded now by Encompass. It was still not a complete solution, and I kept going back and trying to get money to build out all of the things that are now E2E and HR E2E and are built around it. So there was no staff acquisition, no connection to the learning management, no separation management, no workforce or succession planning tools. Now there are a lot of people that are still here that were involved. I know Paula was, and Michelle, and Dar, and Yvette Moore, and Annette Jackson was on the Treasury side. Okay. Okay, so after that we did WebTA. WebTA got rid of that form. There were people in HUD whose sole job was timekeeping. If you were in a large office and you had to fill out those forms and add up those forms, it took a lot of time. So now what they've done is WebTA eliminated the paper, has electronic signature, transmits the certified time, and then does the automated leave requests. And EOPF, the last piece of this, is before EOPF, all the OPFs were paper. And they were in a folder, and they were in Chicago. So if you had to get one down here, you had to have it shipped and then ship it back. And so the cost of shipping those around was fairly significant. So EOPF was a government-wide initiative to scan all of those OPF documents and bring them in. So now with EOPF, you don't have to request to see it, you don't have to ship it around, and you can use it on your own schedule. Okay? And so I'm going to turn it back over to Charles.
So as you can see, we're moving forward with automation. And it's been a great experience for me to be part of the team and been part of HUD as we move through this automation. But how did we arrive at HR end-to-end solution? That's key. That's why we're here today. For one, we had GAO, and we were on what's called the high-risk report. And so basically for HUD, we had to have a more definitive strategic management of human capital. And of course, you heard today about HCAF. So HCAF was something we were looking at, Human Capital Strategic Plan. Goal 5 was a key for us as we move forward. Transform the way HUD does business. That was very key to what we were doing. We became, under the HR end-to-end, a transformation project, which means we received transformation dollars to move the project forward. And this did not come without some pain. One, we had to follow the department's what we call project planning and management process, the PPM. You probably heard about that around the department. It's really a methodology that you use as you move forward projects. And doesn't necessarily have to be an IT project. It could fit with anything that you do, any kind of business that you want to track and monitor and has a beginning, it has an end. It's any kind of project that has a timeline. So we had to learn that. We had to go through various processes of understanding what the PPM was all about. And then they established what's called the Project Management Office. I wasn't in it at that time, but they established the Project Management Office, which basically was put together so that they can roll out this HR end-to-end. Once I was there, we actually had to develop 5 cost-benefit analysis. And I don't know if any of you have ever completed a cost-benefit analysis before, but it's not an easy task. So we had to complete 5 cost-benefit analysis. And out of that, there were some recommendations for 4 systems. Those systems, as we know them today, is Career Connector, which is our monster. We have Encompass, which you know that's the cornerstone. We have HR Connect, which we had in place, but we've added a module to that that's called Separations. And then, of course, we have eCase, which is now we call HR eCase. But even with that, and with receiving money, we still had to get approval from OMB. So for about a month, Phil, or more, we had to go back and forth to OMB, showing them our cost-benefit analysis, showing them how we can make this happen, showing them that we are serious about moving forward with an HR end-to-end solution. They had these sessions called OMB Tech Stats. And at these tech stats, we actually had to go there line by line, funding item by funding item. How are you going to get there? What's your plan? All of the above. But this was the initiation of, again, HR end-to-end. We did receive OMB approval to move forward. So with that, OMB has what's called, OPM has what's called a HR line of business life cycle sub-function model. And this goes with strategize, organization, and plan. And what we did was mapped our systems to each one of those areas, those functional areas. So under strategize, organize, and plan, we looked at Encompass, workforce and succession planning. Under organization and position management, we looked at HR Connect, Career Connector. Staff acquisition, Career Connector. Performance management, Encompass. Compensation management, Encompass. Benefits management, HR Case and HR Connect. Human resource development, that was Encompass, HVU. Employee relations and labor, that's HR Case management. And separations, which was HR Connect. So even though we had the approval, we still had to demonstrate how we mapped to this OPM's HR line of business model. So it didn't come without pain, and I'm so proud of where we are today. So for this, we actually started what we call current state. So we started planning and development and deployment for the implementation of the HR end-to-end solution. With that, I'll ask Allison to come up and talk about staff acquisition.
Thank you, Charles. Okay, so one of the first, oh, he queued it up for me. One of the first systems that we started working on was Career Connector, which is the staff acquisition product. So this comes from the point of when somebody is ready to recruit, of having our assessment question library, advertising positions, collecting applications, qualifications, certificates, and making selections. So this was the, again, one of the first tools that was out of the gate. We did a lot of market analysis to formulate our cost-benefit analysis. Went out and looked at various products that were out in the market, and we had our list of requirements, which we got from just historical information. We talked to the HR specialists, we talked to hiring managers, we talked to program offices, the administrative officers, to find out what everybody wanted in a staff acquisition system. And we took that list of requirements and compared it to all the different systems that we looked at in the market analysis. Again, comparing cost within that too, and figured out which of these systems would work best for HUD with our requirements and with the funding that was given to us. And at the end of the day, we discovered that the Career Connector, which is Monster Government Solutions, but through the interagency agreement with Department of Treasury, was the best fit for HUD at that time. So we have Career Connector, which I think mostly in the recruitment and staffing division you guys are most familiar with, and probably as hiring managers, a lot of you are familiar with it as well. It also helped because we were transitioning to our shared service provider right around the same time where we started implementation. And the shared service provider, BFS, also utilized Career Connector. So it was a good kind of transition, all happened at the same time and worked out well for us. So we have Career Connector. We implemented it around 2012, again around the same time as the shared service provider. And again, it helped us with the ability to search for our question library. So we have developed a lot of assessment questions, and they're housed in our library. We also had, through the IAA that we had with Treasury, we also were able to get some IO psychologists to come in and help us develop even more assessment questions, which are in our library. This makes it a lot easier for our hiring managers to search, so they don't have to reinvent the wheel every time they have an announcement. We have questions, we've used them before, why start from scratch every single time? So this really helps cut down our time in the preparation phase of recruitment. It also helps our managers as far as reviewing certificates and making selections electronically instead of having paper applications floating around. They can just go into the system and look at their certificates and make selections automatically in the system. And it also gets transmitted to BFS automatically, so you don't have to sign and fax or scan or anything. They make the selection and it's sent instantaneously, so BFS can move on making the tentative offers. We also get automatic notifications throughout the system of reminders whenever jobs will be closing or whenever certificates expire. There's a lot of automation involved, so we don't have to do as many manual things. And one of the big advantages for us is that we also have a lot of reporting and analytics tools, which for us here at HUD is extremely important. Again, as we've migrated to the shared service provider, we don't have the same level of visibility as we have before. So being able to go in and run reports and monitor the compliance standpoint of our shared service provider is extremely helpful for us. Also just reporting data up to leadership and to hiring managers about what types of selections they're making, how long is it taking, time to hire, things of that nature. It's a lot of reporting and analytics that we didn't have before. So we can start, and we talked about this morning, using data to drive discussions with hiring managers and organizational leadership, and again, even the departmental leadership of how we need to be strategically recruiting. So again, as far as implementation, we implemented back in 2012. So we've been using it for a while now, and I think we're getting pretty good at it. We also have a lot of enhancements. There's a new release coming up in the next couple of weeks that's going to allow managers to even review resumes, even more easily. Instead of looking at a stack of resumes, they'll be able to look at them side by side and do some keyword searches. So more to come on that as we're getting the training, then we'll be providing it to hiring managers as well. And also, we have some modules that we haven't quite fully rolled out yet, such as Collaborate, which actually Office of Executive Resources uses for some of their panel reviews. So it's something that recruitment and staffing is looking as well to allow for panel reviews by subject matter experts in the program offices. So we're hoping to have some additional rollouts too as enhancements become available. But so far, so good. I think with Career Connector, we've been on a roll so far. Okay, and then let's see who we have. We'll go over to performance management. So, Mr. Burrows.
Still working with Allison. We've been working together for several years, and I'm either Sir or Mr. Burrows, and told her that Mr. is my father's first name. But at any rate, I'm here to share with you a little bit about the journey that we took along the performance management trail. And many of you probably heard Allison talk earlier. At the time in FY11, when we actually were looking at kicking off many of our programs, Maurice Jones, who was Deputy Secretary at the time, said, "You got 5 projects, stagger them, and don't have more than 2 at one time." So Alice and I guess we drew short straws, Allison, because we were the first out of the gate to, start. And for those, how many of you were here 4 years ago, here at HUD, 4 years ago? So I'm actually preaching to the choir now. You remember that we had several systems, and as Dennis alluded to, most of them didn't talk to each other. Some of them were manual. And so one of the first things the team, and we actually established a project team that was comprised of both Ochiko as well as folks from the program area, and we looked at what did we want the tool to do? What type of output did we need and what did we want? And so we used OPM's business reference model. You heard earlier about the HR lifecycle map, but one of the key tools that we used back then, and I'm going to ask our performance management folks not to turn into a cold sweat, but the performance assessment appraisal tool, known as the PAT. The PAT and I worked at OPM for several years, and the PAT was the stick that we used to use over agencies to say, if you don't get it right, you can't pay your folks. Because literally what the PAT was a tool that agencies had to submit to OPM on an annual basis to get approval, and it was a score of 85 or better, to get approval to actually pay performance-based awards. And so, and the PAT, basically, I still say it was an excellent tool. It created a lot of rigor. The agencies revolted, and actually the PAT has sunsetted 2 years ago. But when we looked at the tool that we had, now one of the things that was different about performance, we actually had an automated tool. Those of you that raised your hand before remember ePerformance, right? Don't say it like you don't remember. Quick quiz. What was that? What was it? Okay, what was it? What is it? What is it? Upside down question mark. On my first performance review, I did my self-assessment, and I cut and pasted bullets from a Word document into ePerformance. And I thought I had gone back to my high school Spanish class because it was populated with upside down question marks. And I went to my boss at the time and I said, something's wrong with my computer. And they said, no, that's just ePerformance. So we looked at, some of the feedback that we received, and there was criticism about the fact that the system was cumbersome, it wasn't user-friendly, navigation was tough. So we looked at, we got to fix this. We had something, but we wanted to see what was out there. So we looked at the process, and Charles talked earlier about the PPM. The PPM, I almost started to say something, but the PPM was what it was. But it did create for us a rigor around making sure that we went through the project validation, project baseline, operational readiness, and then project closeout. So it gave us the discipline to get through our project effectively. So we validated the business case, and Charles talked earlier about going to OPM. It was about 2 months, and it almost took a week and a half for each meeting we had to prepare here before we went to OMB. More on that later. We also used various assessment tools. One of the things, and some of you that were on the team remember, we actually did a field trip or two to other agencies. And lo and behold, we realized that there were agencies in a worse state than HUD. There were agencies, and we're talking only about 4 years ago, that were still on paper performance appraisal forms. So with that in mind, we said, well, you know, we're going to look at what's out there. We did our due diligence with the CBA, and in the final analysis in Tawana Coach years, it wasn't the cheapest solution. And, you know, again, you know, we had to actually vet the process of why we selected one that was not the least expensive, because typically when you get repair work on your house, right, you get a few estimates, and sometimes you go with the middle. Sometimes if you get good references, you go with the lowest. We got good references and went with basically the highest. But in hindsight, there's no question in my mind the organization made the best decision, because we now have a tool that does not support performance management. In short order, you're going to see a tool where performance management information will actually communicate with learning management that Ricky will talk about a little bit later on. An eye-opener for me was we did a presentation not that long ago, and I'll talk about compensation in a minute, where we actually were talking about how to automate the performance awards process. And the question was raised, well, Phil, if you have the ratings, what do I have to have my managers do to get the ratings so that we can pay them? And the simple answer was, they talk to each other. So once a rating is established and final in performance, that information then will actually be translated for us to be able to support all performance awards. As one of the things, and before I segue into compensation, Mrs. Smith and Sonia Patterson and I actually had the privilege of working on the Employee Performance Management Work Group. This is an OPM-sponsored work group that is government-wide to identify for the government the requirements for systems and solutions as it relates to performance management. And every agency basically was supposed to, you know, do your homework and bring what you've done as it relates to requirements. And I'm happy to share with you the fact that a vast majority of the requirements that we identified for our compensation and performance management tool were actually pluses in the eyes of most of our peers across the federal government. So you have a lot, because this was a group effort. This was not just the IPT group within PMO and some parts of OCHICO. This was across the board where folks said, this is what we want our performance management tool to do. And most of the federal agencies, as they look at that same process, because many agencies now are saying, how do we get to a point where our systems start talking to each other? Because we're tired of having information in one system, making sure that it's consistent, as Dennis talked about, in another. Compensation. How many like to get paid? Some of y'all should have two hands going and clapping, because this was, as we used to say, the eagle didn't just walk down the street last week. The eagle actually flew this past pay period, amen? For some. He landed? Yeah, he definitely landed. Compensation as a product is actually a subset of performance management. And what we actually did was we looked at the process for managing how we actually provide awards for our employees. I know we have some AO representatives. Who here has actually worked with performance awards in the past? Joe, I know you, yeah, and actually Joe felt the pain last year, because what we actually did was for awards for 2014, we actually mirrored the process. And I was amazed. We had information, and at that point, we were in Encompass for performance, but not for compensation. We would go from Encompass to the data store, to Excel, to SharePoint, back to NFC, and on. And thankfully, even with all that back and forth, we had over 99% accuracy rate last year. That was doing it manually. This year, most of you are aware, we actually went through a process where we have all of the actions from ratings finalized to awards delivered within the tool. And it was not without a couple of curveballs, like time off awards, that we found out the week before we were ready to launch. But it was all good because we had a great team. We hope in the future that when we come to this point next year, cash awards, time offs, QSIs will all be in the compensation tool. All I could say is thank you. If you didn't get your award, pay period 6. If you were looking for a cash award, it's coming pay period 8. And if you are looking for a time off, pay period 7. Thank you. Going to transition now. Here's Ricky.
I didn't fall. Okay. So the next module out of the block is new HVU. So I'd like to ask how many, for the last 6 weeks we've been doing training with the new HVU. Show of hands out there, how many people have actually taken the training or participated in the webcast? Awesome. So the HUD Virtual University is HUD's brand for their learning management system. Okay, a learning management system is used to track, monitor, document, and report all of the learning activities for the department. How did we arrive at the transition? The old HVU, of course, was a standalone. It didn't talk to any of the other systems. It required a dedicated source for technical assistance. With our shrinking resources, it was no longer feasible or fiscally responsible to apply resources to a product with unilateral functionality. Okay. The good news, we're moving to Encompass, and Encompass is the name of HUD's Unified Talent Management System. It's still going to be called HVU. It's an Encompass product, but we're just replacing the engine that drives HVU. We are contractually partnering with the U.S. Treasury, who are our shared services provider, with Cornerstone On Demand, who owns the Encompass product. Okay, we're on the contract for them to deliver products and services. Okay, what's in it for you? Okay, so once this module is rolled out, you have one less password that you have to worry about, okay? Okay. So now you're going to be using the same user ID password combination that you use to get into performance. Once this module is released, you'll see next to the performance tab, you'll see the HVU tab. Okay. This particular HVU has a larger course catalog. It has over 3,200 courses that you can take online that require no prior approval. Okay. In addition, it's data fed through HiHeart's HR Connect. So it recognizes who you are when you log in. It knows who your supervisor is. So when you request external training or instructor-led training, the workflow can be routed electronically. So you can get the approvals electronically. Okay. I must have been asleep. I apologize. Okay. Okay, so when will it be rolled out? The new HVU will be rolled out in phases. incrementally to smaller organizations and then larger organizations. However, it will be available to the entire department by Q4. Okay. And I'd like to hand it off to Erica to talk about workforce and succession planning.
All right, good afternoon. So, for the workforce and succession planning module, the project team began our journey back in January of 2015. And I tell you, it certainly hasn't been an easy journey. In fact, we're still in the process of configuring the system, deploying phases. We're still developing data. We're still inputting data into the system, and we're still trying to effectively implement the system. So, what exactly is workforce and succession planning? And I see Zakia over there giving me the hawk eye, so I got to make sure I get this right. Workforce planning is all about the organization. It is the process of putting strategies in place to prepare an organization for the future. And during our morning session, I believe Liz from CEB talked a little bit about workforce planning and strategic alignment. So this is right in line with that seminar. The strategies that are put in place ensures that an organization has the right workforce in the right positions at the right time to fulfill the organization's mission and goals. Good? All right, good. And so I'll give you a few examples of what that means. I won't go through all of them, but because workforce planning is pretty heavy stuff. It could mean conducting a SWOT analysis of your organization, so examining the strengths and weaknesses, the opportunities and threats of that organization. It could involve conducting a workforce analysis, which is looking at demographics, looking at your mission-critical occupations, retirement eligibilities, turnover rates, and all kinds of historical trends when you're looking in those areas from year to year. It could also mean preparing for projected position changes or new staffing requirements. So if the agency has a critical need during a particular year and you need to make a shift in the workforce, this sort of process prepares you for making that shift. So you would start planning a couple of years out once you've identified those areas that you need to make the shift in, and you start preparing for that in advance. It could also mean organizational design, looking at your organizational structures, your staffing models, and making sure those are in line with your strategic objectives and your work processes. So that's workforce planning. It's all about the organization. Strategic planning, however, is all about the individual. So this process prepares individuals within the organization to have the right knowledge, skills, abilities, and competencies to assist in executing its mission. So succession planning is driven by outcomes that were identified through your workforce planning process, okay? And some succession planning examples are preparing individuals to fulfill anticipated vacancy gaps. So if you have a critical need within the agency and you need to shift to a different type of workforce or hire specific area or folks that specialize in a specific area of expertise, you can make those shifts or look within your own immediate workforce and start preparing them for those shifts, or you have the option to go externally and to hire those folks as well. So it's just examining that whole process and making sure that you're prepared for when these things hit. So these two processes work in tandem. They work together to ensure that an organization can address a variety of human capital issues and challenges. And in this morning's seminar, Liz mentioned the word shepherding earlier. I think that this process definitely facilitates and shepherds the conversation that we plan to have with our organizational units in the future where you would say, or specifically the Strategic Workforce Planning Office would say, here is what I heard you think you need, but here is what you actually need. And I know this because we've done the workforce analysis, and here is the data to prove that, okay? And then we make those recommendations to those organizational units. So how does Encompass support workforce and succession planning? Well, and let me, before I get into that, let me just mention that Liz, I really enjoyed that presentation earlier on strategic alignment, but she spoke about shifting from a administrative and processing approach to a consultative approach. So that's kind of where we're going with workforce and succession planning. Eventually, what we'll do is the strategic workforce and succession planning team will start to set up consultative services for organizational units within the agency and start making recommendations for them as they carry out their workforce plans. So. But how does Encompass support workforce and succession planning? Encompass automates the two processes, or it makes a really good attempt to automate. It interfaces with other Encompass modules, as Allison and Phil mentioned earlier, and Ricky. It's particularly the performance module and the talent management module. The talent management module has, or the learning management services module has a library of courses that it houses. And so once we start getting to the succession planning piece, those courses will be mapped to the competencies or the areas where folks will need development. Identified through gap analysis that will be performed through your workforce analysis. The Encompass system also utilizes established interfaces. So the legacy systems and tools that we have already in-house, like NFC, HR Connect, Career Connector, and Workforce Analytics, this module pulls information in from those other tools to help populate the system. Okay, and also the Encompass module we feed a lot of information into the module. So the more information that we can feed through these legacy tools and systems, and the more information that we're developing, particularly on the HUD Learn side, we've used a lot of competencies and competency assessments that they've developed. We've also pulled some competencies assessments from the OPM Mosaic. So the more information that we feed into the system, the more robust the system, the more granular the information within the system becomes. So again, we're in the process of doing this now, so we're constantly trying to feed and develop information. So we began our journey with a very high-level scope statement. We, as a project team, really had to identify what is it that we wanted to achieve from this system. And once we did that, we went through weeks and weeks and weeks of research and discovery. We looked at some baseline sources like the HCAF, in that framework, the HR LOB model. We looked at the HUD Strategic Human Capital Plan, the HUD Strategic Workforce Plan, and we also had a succession plan here at HUD that we took a look at and did some modeling from as well. We also examined pre-existing business functions and processes that we already had here in place at HUD. Why reinvent the wheel? So if those processes were working, we may have done some tweaks here and there, but we tried to model those processes and figuratively just plop them into the system. We also, in some cases, there weren't any business functions or business processes developed, so we had to kind of create them right there on the spot, and that was definitely a task. We also did cross collaborations, and we did quite a few of these with the Department of Treasury. We learned that they were doing something a little bit similar, not as robust, but we made some connections over there, and we were able to do some information exchange with the Department of Treasury. Also, the Department of Education. We worked collaboratively a lot with the Department of Education. We learned that they had some manual processes and methodologies that were working for them, and we wanted to take a peek at what was working for them that worked well, and we modeled some of our processes to what they were doing as well. We also looked at the Office of Strategic Workforce and Succession Planning, obviously. Zakia and her team developed a workbook for operationalizing the strategic workforce planning process that we've modeled very closely. HUD-Learn, competencies, competency assessments. They had an IDP tool that we modeled the business processes from. We're working on developing right now some proficiency levels and also the Skillsoft training courses through the LMS module. So we also did some requirements building, and in some cases the requirements building was done simultaneously with our research and our discovery. We knew that we wanted a very robust system. We wanted the system to be manager and employee facing, because what we learned from examining our business processes is that there's some processes here at HUD, like the IDP, that is employee-facing process, and it's completely voluntary on the employee. So we had to make the system manager and employee-facing. We wanted the process to be repeatable. We wanted to be able to do it on a cyclical basis, so that meant every quarter or every other quarter. We wanted to target MCOs and high-risk occupations, some HUD-specific and federal-wide. We also wanted to make sure that whoever was utilizing the system was able to have a good picture of their organization. So we created a strategic assessment questionnaire. So that's kind of the first thing that you'll be presented with once you start to navigate through the system, and it has quite a few questions on there to really get the manager, or give the manager, an idea of the strategic picture of their organization. We wanted it to have action plans. We wanted the system to have metric grids. So we have some really fancy grids within the system that measure a variety of different scenarios. So it gives you an indication of your workforce supply, your workforce demand. We wanted org charts. So now, when you go into the system, every organizational unit will have an org chart. We wanted it to have competencies, competency assessments. We wanted to do gap analyses, development plans, I mentioned that earlier. We wanted the trainings to map. We wanted the system to generate reports, and we have some canned reports now that we're getting from the system, but we're working on customizing some very HUD-specific reports based on our business requirements. And we wanted to be able to use this information to, again, provide consultative services to organizations and organizational units within the agency. So after that, we went through a process of more data gathering. We're still doing that. We're still configuring. We did some testing and, in some cases, some regression testing as well. And after all of that, we started with our change management process. And HUD really doesn't have a change management unit within the agency, so we had to take on a lot of the change management ourselves, which was a task in and of itself. But I think we did a pretty good job, and we're still working on developing some things to make, or to hopefully make the subject matter a little more light and less heavy. So we had to do some briefings and some presentations to gain executive buy-in, obviously. We did demos with the DepSec, OCHICO executives, and we'll also do demos with each of the pilot organizations that we start to target. We created a really nice video, and that took lots and lots of hours. We also designed a training program that we're currently refining because of some lessons learned. We've developed some learning aids, some literature and other brochures. We'll have email triggers and different ticklers that the system will generate. So there's a lot that's, you know, a lot to come from this module, and I just want you guys to keep your fingers crossed for us, because we're still going through the implementation process. So we are piloting the system. We decided to pilot in 3 phases, and we've begun with Ochiko 201s, which are the HR specialists, and our target for full implementation is the end of 2017. Thank you.
All right, case management. Okay, so the next system or application that we're talking about, we use it to manage at least 4 of our programs in HR. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the system, and then I'll talk about the programs. eCase is a dynamic enterprise case management system. The department has chosen to run the following business processes: employee labor relations, telework, reasonable accommodations, and benefits. Okay, so let me talk about ELR. Over 2 years ago, under the leadership of Jackie Mercy Holly and her core team, Don Jarris, Michael Johnson, Iva Harp, Yvette White, they wrote a script to configure eCase to capture all of their business processes. They were able to capture the mainstays of their business, which is performing in-person and telephone consultations, which ultimately could result in a case. Okay, so they were able to put all that stuff in one place. I was really impressed by how anxious they were to get started. Okay, so they knew exactly what they wanted. They were actually waiting for somebody to ask them, you know, did they want a system? You know, and so they were out the door, unless when I came on board, they were already using the system. So I applaud them. It wasn't perfect, but we've made modifications along the way, and they actually use it 100% of the time. Okay, as before, they were capturing all their work on logs, standalone applications, spreadsheets, etc. Okay, with the complete automation of the system, they were able to reap many benefits, but most significantly, they were able to standardize the way that they were doing business and spread that practice throughout all the offices across the country, okay, which resulted in increased efficiency, reduced paperwork, and they were able to turn around data calls a lot quicker. Okay. In addition, they're also able to resolve departmental conflicts a lot quicker. Okay, so as I said before, they've been using it for a little over 2 years, and it's systematically being used by all the offices in the country, and they're still modifying it to tweak it to their needs, which is great. Okay, so the next 2 programs are telework and reasonable accommodations, and I kind of lumped them together because they're almost in the same category in terms of deploying. Telework is self-explanatory. RA requires defining a little bit. I know I had to read up to find out exactly what they were using it for and what it meant. Reasonable accommodation is a change, adaptation, or modification to a policy, program, or service or workplace which will allow a qualified person with a disability to participate fully in a program, take advantage of a service, or perform a job. Okay? So both of these programs, telework and reasonable accommodations, are employee-driven. Okay, so once the system is automated, the employees will be able to interface with a portal and make their request. Okay, and in addition to that, it has an electronic workflow, so it will flow to the supervisors, and the approval process will also be electronic. As is currently, telework, as you know, is a paper-based process. It requires a little legwork and some luck to get it done in a certain amount of time. Okay? Reasonable accommodations, they've been using a standalone application which requires an incredulous amount of data entry and duplication. Once the system is automated, okay, it will result in a reduction in paperwork, of course, less time, better tracking, and more efficiency, and increased reporting capability. Okay, target implementation is Q4 for both of these programs. Okay. And the last area is benefits. Okay, the portion of benefits that's focused with the EK system is the retirement section. Okay, it's been configured for a little over a year, but since that time, the retirements component has been absorbed by the BFS contractual transactional work. So we're using it now to provide compliance and oversight, which gives us more flexibility. The old way was we relied on a third-party shared services provider, which had a lot of restrictions and limited availability for reporting. Okay. Once the system is automated, the benefit specialists will have autonomy to do more and greater reporting, and they will have more flexibility and access to the information. They will be able also to manipulate the data and be able to turn around the data calls a lot quicker. They will continue to modify the system for their use in anticipation that the transactional work will not always be procured out. Okay. The turnaround time has been reduced significantly. I see somebody holding up a red card in the back. I'm not sure what that means, but I guess I better hurry up. Okay. So next up is Phil Burrows, and he's going to talk about separations.
Going to ask if we would have a moment of silence for the HUD 58. I'm glad some of you all are still awake. Now, most of you probably know that this piece of paper, once upon a time, employees, if they were separating from the department, it was a little bit easier for one to understand in the field, but here at headquarters, they had to go on a scavenger hunt, as one gentleman told me, of where to find the locations to get the signatures on their HUD 58 form. So when we looked at, the various stages of the life cycle, HR life cycle, separation was one that screamed at us, that needed some automation. So we looked at the various options, and fortunately we found one that was familiar to most employees because it actually resided on the HR Connect platform. So we did our due diligence still to check and see that from a cost-effective standpoint, it was the most prudent step to take, and it was validated. One of the things that I wanted to point out, and most folks did not realize, there were 22 signatures that employees had to get on a HUD 58. And most of our program areas said that on average, employees only turned in a half dozen items. So, if nothing else, we've saved some footsteps. We've actually gone through the process, both in terms of configuration. We have not changed what employees have to do when they separate in terms of returning the items. All we've done is save some steps. The system will trigger once a separation action is generated in HR Connect. So there's nothing different from that standpoint. One of the questions that came up earlier was, where do they put the HUD 58 form? Secret, there's no HUD 58 form anymore. The HUD 58 is gone. But more importantly, one of the things that we actually have found is that we learned a lot. One, we have to, as we work with our partners at Treasury, we have to continue to work with them to hold them accountable, and that's reality. But we also have realized that they are listening to our concerns moving forward. We actually deployed the tool in 2 phases before full deployment. In Q1, we actually used the tool to support those employees that were separating through the buyout within Ochiko. Phase 2 was nationwide, so both regions and the headquarters actually experienced going through the HUD 58 automated process. And if nothing else, we're saving some paper. I'd like to close by saying one thing, and one of the things that I mentioned earlier in terms of separation, talent management, performance management, staff acquisition, is more than anything else, we now have created a tool that will support all of our core HR functions in an integrated and an effective fashion. Thank you.
Thank you. That really impressive, and you guys are doing some ambitious work. And I think Tawanda has some certificates for our presenters on the panel. And while Tawanda's handing those out, again, I don't know if folks have any questions. A lot of information, but it sounds like things are really impacting your work in Ochiko in a very meaningful way.
The first one is for Charles Butler. Come on up. Charles is always the professional, always, and HR end-to-end. He introduced me when I got here. So thank you, Charles.
Thank you. It's all good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Erica Kinley, come on up. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I was concerned when Allison came up on the stage because she's working on our hiring plan business process re-engineering. Come on up, Allison. Thank you. Ricky Chu. Thank you so much. Phil Burrows. Philip. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Dennis McGurn.
Thank you.
And then I have one more from this morning. Mike Stein, could you come out from this morning? We meant to give it to you from this morning. And you done that? Thank you for this morning for facilitating the panel. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I do want to say this HR end-to-end solution, from the solution, it kind of brings everything together. When Liz Joyce talked about, the driving strategic alignment, and us being HR professionals, we're champions of talent and the shepherding and the actual partnering. When you think about all the documents that we've created over the last year, they tie into the strategic plan, they tie into our APP. We have our human capital strategic plan, our workforce plan, our succession plan. All of these documents are so important to how we do our business. And then those tie into our actual operations plan for the organization, which is actually our tactical plan of how we do our business every day. So it's really what action items or what things are we gonna do or accomplish each and every quarter. It's those things that each office is going to do. And these are the systems that we're going to use to get that business done. And then those tie into your actual performance plans. How are your performance plans tying into the human capital strategic plan, the succession plan? the strategic plan. All of those things really tie in, and that's how you tie into the mission of HUD. And if you don't really understand some of that stuff, ask those questions of us, and we can help you understand that. It's really important that you really understand the connections, and if you don't understand all of the connections, please ask while you're here this week. We can help you make those connections. We want to make sure that you understand those connections, and if some of them don't fit or don't seem right, let's talk about it while you're here, so we can make sure that if you don't understand it, we need to make sure that it's clear, because if you're not understanding it, maybe we need to try to fix something or straighten something out, because it needs to be clear. And maybe we're not doing something right, and we need to clear something out, or maybe get rid of something, because sometimes we do need to get rid of some stuff. So there are some things that we're doing that we probably shouldn't do, because sometimes we put out fires, but we keep doing it, and we might need to sweep it out and get rid of it, recycle it, and not continue to do it. So we want to hear those things too. So all of this ties into our engagement plans and these projects that feel right. But if you're thinking that some of it doesn't make sense, and you want to talk about it, we want to talk about it. So I am really excited about all of this, and it's starting to tie in together, and the pieces are fitting. So and then the corporate learning plan. I'm not sure if you've seen the corporate learning plan, but that was another document that HUD Learn worked on. I actually read it, and it makes sense. All of these documents are actually talked about in the GAO. There's a draft GAO report. I had to go upstairs for a little while today, and then Peter took over the meeting so I could come back down here to listen to Dr. Lee. They're talking about Ochiko. There was a year-long GAO management review here at HUD, where they went to all of the organizations and program offices. And this was, they talked positively about some of the stuff that Ochiko's doing. And it was really good to read the report. They went way back to 1984 and talked about some of the things that we didn't do well, but then they talked about a lot of the documents and things that we are actually putting in place, and saying that they do make sense, and that we are actually starting to understand what our roles and responsibilities are. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that's actually working on these documents, and not just documents, but working on the processes, the systems, and doing the work, because we are doing the work. So I think we owe each other a hand of applause and a thank you, a sincere thank you. So, thank you very much. And Peter, I'll let Peter round everything up and end our day, but I just want to say thank you all. It's been a great day, and you've done a lot of great work, so see you tomorrow. Okay.
And so tomorrow, when you leave today, take the stuff with you. Take a look at the schedule. We have we're first off starting a little later tomorrow. We had a full day. You guys have been engaged, been awesome. We'll start tomorrow at 9:30. West Coast people, I know it's still a little early, but it's better than 8:30. But we'll start at 9:30. Take a look at the schedule. We have 3 sessions. One, Tim Curry, awesome ELRD specialist from OPM, will be meeting with our ELRD staff. Managers, we're going to have a session on managing an intergenerational workforce. And then for the rest of us, we're going to have a great session on personnel security, a hot topic. So all at 9:30. Different locations. Have a great night. It's beautiful. The Nats are in town. We will see you tomorrow, ready to go at 9:30.